A2X has its own cost of goods sold feature, so we can calculate the cost of goods sold per SKU per settlement and post an entry to your accounting system deducting the total cost of goods sold from the inventory asset account to allocate out to the cost of goods sold expense account. So this means you still hold your inventory as an asset in your accounting system until such time that it is sold and A2X allocates it out for you, but you don't need to have each inventory item set up individually in your accounting system. The beauty of this feature is that you still end up with an accurate gross profit figure at the end of each month period, so you can really keep a handle on things easier. But you're not clogging your accounting system with order by order entries to maintain inventory. For A2X to calculate your cost of goods sold entries per settlement, we need to know the cost or unit prices you would like us to use for our calculations, as well as the accounts you would like us to deduct from and allocate to. These will need to be added into A2X, so let's get started. In your A2X account, click Settings at the top of the page and then click Cost of Goods Sold. You will be redirected to the Cost of Goods Sold settings page. This is where the feature is enabled and the accounts are mapped. There is also the option to have A2X calculate the cost of goods sold for non-Amazon FBA shipments. You can enable this here. The accounts to be mapped here are the cost of goods sold expense account. You may already have one of these set up in your chart of accounts in your accounting system. If not, you'll need to create the cost of goods sold expense account for mapping here in the settings. The inventory asset account to be mapped here is the inventory account in your accounting system that is holding the overall value of your stock. Once the accounts are mapped, you can click Save Settings and move on to the next steps of adding in your unit prices. Let's head on over to the costs page in A2X. The cost page in A2X is where you can manage your unit prices, view your cost save history, and complete bulk unit price uploads. On the Manage Cost tab, there is a table here that lists out the products and unit prices. We have the option to select the currency of our unit prices here too. The table lists the SKU, cost, the name, the FN SKU, in-stock number, sold number, and the last seen date. The SKU and the cost are the only fields that can be edited on this table. A2X will gather the SKUs we can see within the settlement and FBA month-end inventory data we've fetched into the account, but we can add SKUs to the table if needed. The name and FN SKU listed in the table here comes into A2X from the month-end FBA inventory valuation reports we fetch in from Amazon. These fields can't be edited manually. They will automatically populate once they have appeared on a month-end inventory valuation report. The in-stock value also comes from the month-end inventory valuation reports we fetch in from Amazon. The numbers shown here are as at the end of the last month. The sold values are updated from the data in your settlements for the current month only. The last seen date here lets you know when A2X last saw that SKU listed in either a month-end inventory valuation report or a settlement. Both the SKU and the cost columns in the table can be edited. Entering a unit price into the table is as simple as double-clicking the cell and typing in the unit price. Well, there is also the option to complete the unit prices in a single upload. A2X provides you with a template CSV file containing your SKUs, so you can populate the file with your unit prices and then simply re-upload it to A2X. If you already have some SKUs or unit prices saved in A2X, you can add the upload file to the current costs already saved in the account. Depending on how many products you sell, you may choose to simply type the unit prices directly into the Manage Cost table. Select the currency for the costs and save, as shown here. After clicking Save, you can review the Cost History tab to see there has been an entry logged here advising that the unit prices were just saved and are active. The Cost History tab will let you see if there were any SKUs saved with a $0 cost price, if there were any SKUs that still don't have a unit price, and also the total number of SKUs along with the currency of the cost prices. You have the option to either view or save the record here too. So now we've mapped our cost of goods sold and inventory asset account, and we've added in our unit prices. If we review a settlement entry in A2X, we see where the COGS entry should show, but it isn't yet showing. That's because we haven't yet refreshed the settlements in the account so that A2X knows to generate the COGS entries. To do this, head back to the settlements page and click the orange word refresh beside the settlements in your account. So what happens if you refresh the settlement but you see a red cost status indicator here? This means we are still missing unit prices in A2X. If we review the settlement, A2X will provide us with the information about the SKUs that are missing unit prices for this entry. There is also a direct link there to the Manage Cost table where you can add the missing unit prices in, or you can download the CSV template A2X provides and update that way. We've added in the unit prices for the applicable SKUs here directly into the Manage Cost table. The next step is to head back to the home page or settlements page and click refresh on the settlement again. The page has reloaded and our cost status indicator has now gone blue. This means that the cost of goods sold entry should now be ready to post to the accounting system. Let's take a look by clicking review on the settlement again. Underneath our sales and fees entry, we now see a second entry for our cost of goods sold for the period. If we expand the entry, we can see what the total number is made up of. The entry is ready to be posted over to the accounting system. So let's say you have 50 SKUs and you'd rather not have to manually type the unit prices into the table. You have the ability with A2X to do a bulk cost price upload from the Advanced Costs tab. You can download a template here that will provide you with a CSV file containing the SKUs found in your account and any unit prices we already have in your account. You could also start with your own blank file. All it needs is the column headers SKU and cost. You simply need to populate the SKU and cost columns with your data. In our example here, we already have the SKUs listed, so we just need to add in the unit prices now. Once the file is up to date, you save it as a CSV file type and then upload it to your A2X account. To do this, you select the currency of your unit prices, click Choose File, select the cost file that you're uploading, choose whether to leave the checkbox tick to add these costs to the current costs, and then click Upload Costs. You'll see a pop-up appear advising the number of SKUs with no cost found, as well as the number of SKUs in the resulting upload. You can review the Cost History tab for further details on the upload. Cost prices can be updated as often as required in A2X. A2X works on a single cost system, so whatever cost price is in A2X as active will be the cost price used on COGS entries going forward, or past entries if you refresh them. It is most common for A2X customers with fluctuating unit prices to input weighted average cost prices in A2X.